four banks I just mentioned are very important inside of what you're doing so you can begin to see what's happening with everything. So those are the things you want to begin to notice as we begin to grow, that your business is going to require more, how do you put it? All right, cool. All right, it's going to require more of your online presence, of understanding what you need to do, what you've been doing, how you're doing it. And again, knowing the banks, what's going on with the banks is the big, huge difference. So remember, again, the four banks you want to have is a national bank, a regional bank, a community bank, and a credit union bank. Why? You want to build relationships in all those areas. Now, as we talked about banks closing, people say, what? What does it have to do with corporate credit? Well, let me tell you what it has to do with corporate credit. It has a lot to do with corporate credit, because you've got to understand the environment that you're in and how, see, certain times of the year, credit's being built. You can build good credit. Towards the end of the year, summer kind of, and even beginning right now. Now, here's one thing I want to let you know. This is already March. This is already March. How many quarters in a year? There's 4 quarters. I'm going to cover those today. There are 4 quarters in a year, and one thing about it is that you want to begin to understand there are 4 quarters in the year, and you can't miss this world-changing event because there's 4 quarters per year. March, June, September, December. Right now, if you don't have a minimum of $200,000 in your business as of March, you won't have it by the end of December if you don't do stuff about it now. A lot of, this year's done. You guys know that I operate, and I've been teaching this for the longest time. If you don't have your business straight and flat by March, meaning that you have everything in place, I don't care if you have one corporation or LLCs, whatever you got, divisions, if you don't have them all in place and ready to go by March, you're already 2 years behind. 2 years. And each day, every day is 90 days in this business. Every day is 90 days in this business. And believe me, I have my stuff going on in my life, and I have people that listen to me when I talk to them, and I'm telling you, sometimes you have a day is just shot. You just lost 90 days. And people really freak out about that, but it's the truth. And I get, if you had a team, let me put it this way. If you had a team, all right, if your team was set up to set you free, so like for instance, whatever I go through, if I have a team to back up to do things for people that I need to do for them, I could go handle some stuff myself. See, people do not understand what you want to begin to handle is really important, because of the fact is what's needed is your full attention, or someone that can give you full attention to the people, or you're at some other place taking care of what you need to take care of for the business, because if you're gone from the business, guess what? You make an impact. So these are the things I want to make you aware of. You have 4 quarters a year. As January started this year, you already needed to be in the 5-year period. What's your business going to look like in 5 years? I mean, like really sit around with nobody else around, unless they're part of your team. You don't say jack for about 4 hours. You just kind of take bullet point notes. Then you go eat lunch. And you don't talk about anything at lunch. You eat lunch and you talk about the weather. Don't talk about what you've been writing down. Then you come back from lunch, and don't eat lunch where you're going to be lethargic. Don't drink any alcohol. Don't smoke any cigarettes. Don't smoke a joint. Nothing. Those next 2 hours are going to be the most valuable. You want to eat a light lunch. That means a salad. And if you don't like salad, guess what? You can put chicken on it. So a chicken salad. Or mandarin, those oranges salad. Or whatever salad where it has cranberries and walnuts and whatever have you on it. If you don't like coffee, drink tea. Do not drink any soda. Do not get any sugar in you. If you're a sugar freak, tough luck. What's more important, the business and building your business that has money, or you want that sugar high where you kind of do, you're all wiped out? Come on. Oh, God. Come on. You guys are crazy. Tonight I'm not in my dress shirt because I'm getting down and dirty. Here's some water. So one thing before we get started, I really want to let you know something is that when you begin to realize, look at it, it's already March, you guys. You got June, September, December. There's only three months left in the year. Don't count the in-between. That doesn't count. Because what you're going to try to do to catch up for March, you're going to try to do it, and you're going to miss June. You need to be working on June, and when you're in June, work on September, and September, you work on December. If you're already behind already, you're going to feel overwhelmed. I'm telling you this. Those of you out there in our business credit course and stuff like that, you know I look at you and think of you as a Fortune 500, and that's what I'm going to hold you to. None of this, oh, well, I understand we got stuff going on, so we're going to have days. I got it. I have days too like that, but you know what? I know what I got to do I know March is here already. Now, of course, some things happened for me in the last couple of days that I need to handle some things in life. It's just called life that I need to take care of. Is it a bad thing? No, it's just now I have to actually see how creative I can be inside of all that stuff that goes on. All the morass of this and that. You got this pulling you, this pulling you. You got appointments with clients here and you got appointments with clients with there. Oh my God, lions and tigers and bears, oh my, come on. And it's part of life. You don't think, see, a lot of you don't think big corporations have this kind of stuff, but they have it going on. All right, just get it. They have it going on. Now, if you don't want it going on, one thing is, then guess what? Don't have a business. Don't have a business at all. Just forget it, and move on. What I'm saying is, here's what really happens is this. You've got to realize it's part of the game. You got to find a way inside of all that to make things happen. It's kind of like this. You got to wake up and give yourself a high five. Yeah, high five. Yeah, all right, high five. You've got to give yourself a high five because, in fact, right now you should just do it and watch when you give yourself a high five, you get a little more energized. Why? There's something magically that happens inside of that. But I want to make you aware of is there's many things that go on and you want to begin to understand that you're up against life every day and it's going to throw stuff at you and it has no concern for your success. Life has no concern for your success. Again, life has no concern for your success. Just get that. Your life has no concern for your success. None whatsoever. Why should it? A lot of you act like life owes you something.
When
life
I first started wholesaling, I could see so many of my contemporaries. It's going to do what it does,
and man, I'm telling you, sometimes it is horrible because it's doing what it does. And
what is up, guys? We are live. Zacking here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly.
Guess what? It's still going to happen to you. It's still going to happen. So before we begin, I want to start off what I normally like starting off with, and we're going to start off with this. You got it. Time to get excited, motivated, and high five ourselves. High five, that's it. Woo! Yeah, let's go, baby. Yeehaw!
Get up, and then they got going on. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
Alrighty, guys.
Let's go. Dancing it up, guys.
All right, cool beans, cool bananas, all that good stuff. So that's all I just really want to let you know. That's what it takes. That's what we do because guess what? Time to be excited at all times because you got March to get juiced up for. That means you got March, then you got June, you got September. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. March, it's done. June, done. September, done. December, done. What are you going to do in between that? You can't avoid it. It's there. Those are your building your business. If you haven't done anything for your business credit, my God Almighty, please. Some of you taking, I get you got stuff in life. Trust me, I understand. You got maybe friends that have some things going on in their life. You got maybe some people that just got hemmed up in life. You got people are saying that you don't do this. You got people that saying, it's what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? It's not. Oh, it's a fraud. They didn't. I never signed anything. What else they got going in the world? All kinds of nonsense stuff. And you could be the person. No, it's not. I did it. You did everything by the book. Remember, people can always yell the loudest. People can always yell the loudest. People can always yell the loudest. The ones who complain that have nothing going on in life. All I want to let you know, folks, you still got to deal with it and all that stuff, even if it's just you. Even if your loved one doesn't support you in it. Either way, your job is to go ahead and make it happen. Either way, you've got to make it happen. Unfortunately, if it's just you, I get it. Believe me, I get it. And sometimes I don't care what kind of man you are, it's like you just want to almost curl up in the corner, but you got to fight. You got to understand the difference between men and women. Sometimes I wish I had the woman mentality inside of the body, which means they just do what they do. They don't do it for success. They do it because they do it. Men do it to go ahead because we want to be successful and we want to have this and we want to be... Man, forget all that stuff. That's a bunch of bahooey. I'm telling you guys, if you had the way of women, I'm telling you, the women that are really a bad, awesome person in business, some of them are the one, and I mean ruthless, but some of those are the most loving women on the planet. If you understand them. You've got to begin to understand building your business and building your business credit has a lot to do with what you're really up to. If you're doing it for money, it won't happen. I'm going to tell you this. More women that I've sponsored and have in the program build more business credit lines than men. Usually it's almost a 4-to-1 ratio. And if you got 100, they have 400,000. If they start out the same time with you, they don't compete with you. They compete with themselves. They don't look what you got. They say, okay, great, I see that. Then they go, I'll do better. They don't worry really about what you've got. They use you as a mark. We look, okay, I'm going to go, I'll do that person. I'm going to go. It doesn't really work that way. See, a lot of you really think building business credit is competition. You're only in competition with yourself. And also you begin to find out your relationship to money when you actually start raising money, which means you start building your corporate credit. You begin to find out your relationship to money. Granted, I know Bezos and I know that Kawasaki, whatever his name is, the rich dad, poor dad, and a lot of the other people that have money, that make money, is that guess what? Rich dad, poor dad borrows money almost every 3 to 5 years on whatever asset he has. All the money he has is all borrowed. Why do you think he doesn't pay any taxes? You guys got to begin to understand, if you're not building your business credit will give you the money to give you the power that you need to go get what you want to get when you want to get it. If you're trying to play it safe when you borrow money from a business, you're goofy. You haven't understand the power of business credit. Do you think Bezos? Do you think Yahoo? Do you think Disney that filed BK at least, I think, 4 to 7 times before he hit it? How many times did Colonel Sanders go around trying to sell his chicken recipe? A chicken recipe. I don't know what he put in his secret chicken stuff, but he had the best chicken in the world. And look at now. The guy's still making money and he's dead. Edison, still making money and he's dead. Walt Disney, making money and still dead. What legacy are you going to leave behind? Are you going to leave a legacy? I've tried. There is no trying. Trying is like crying. Oh, I get it. Trust me. Trust me. I'm just as human as all of you. but there's some strength, and I do have people around me that actually have a listening, and they're how do you put it? They're coaching in a way that gets me through. Okay, great. And they have me think of some other things. Oh, you know what? I remember this. Oh, I can do this. Okay, cool. Here's one thing. As a community, there's a lot of us, because when we have the other rooms, other people in the room, we have all the other people that have the money in the room. We have the people that, we have 14, $18 million in some people. And they only been doing it for like 3 years. And it had nothing to do with their credit. They understood the power of divisions. Again, I'm going to get into divisions. Your power is going to lay in divisions. But I want to remind you about the banks. Let me tell you about the banks before I get going on this, because I want to go ahead and fly through this. All right, here's another thing. I'm going to read this from the phone, all right? So here's the thing. I couldn't download it and put it on the screen for you guys to see. So Wells Fargo, closing 2 more Richmond branches because of consumer trends, all right? So it tells you what they're closing. On the heels of a wave of local branch closure, and from Truist, another big national bank, is slimming down its retail presence in the banking business, okay? Now, Wells Fargo spokesman said that the branches are set to close, at noon on May 18th. Now, remember I told you, every branch that a bank has, whether it be a credit union, community bank, a regional bank, or a major bank, guess what? They all have branch numbers, and they all have a different tax ID, and they all have a DUNS number. Guess what they're going to do with those branches? Guess what they're going to do with those branches? Anybody have any idea what they're going to do with those branches? Anybody have any idea what they're going to do with those branches? Because when they created those branches, they filled out a form called an SS4 form, which I've been telling you guys for the longest time. Learn this form, learn this form, learn this form, learn this form, learn this form. Because the SS4 form, you build credit. You have a company name, a division name, or your name, depending how you want to use it. But here's what I want to tell you. They get to go ahead. Any losses, guess what they get to do? They get to write it off. And they're able to do a compiled tax return and take that write-off off the big mother company off the top. Come on. I've been talking this since 1985. Any of you still been around, you know I've been talking 85. I'm telling you, even in the live seminars I've had. This is one thing you want to begin to realize. There is no loophole. They are doing what they're allowed to do because the IRS says you can do it, and many of the wealthiest pay little or no income tax. And do you think Wells Fargo is going to go ahead and pay taxes on what they write on the branches that close? No. Nothing wrong with it. See, there's no such thing as avoiding it. The Internal Revenues gives you the power to go ahead and not pay taxes. They tell you how. There's 6,550 pages of the IRS code the last time I looked, and that was last year. They have one page that tells you how to pay taxes, and they give you 6,549 pages that tells you how not to pay taxes the right way. But it's not fair. What's not fair? It's not fair that you're not willing to. Some of you get home. I get some of you get home. You go to work at 8, you get home at 5 or 6, and maybe you go to the gym at 3 times a week, you get home at 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and maybe you have an hour drive, so you have to go to bed early. I'm going to tell you what, if you're up to something, doing something you want, guess what? You'll take 1 hour, instead of sleeping 8 hours, you'll sleep 6 hours. The thing that you want to begin to understand, when you really want something bad enough, you'll find a way to get it done. Those of you that reason why a lot of you that avoid it, you work hard. I'm not saying that you don't work hard. And work hard for me is digging a ditch with a pick and shovel. That's working hard. If you work at McDonald's, that's not working hard. You're on your feet all day. So your feet might hurt. Soaking in a bucket of ice. I'm telling you, I've done that. Man, it does feel good. You put it ice, you take the swelling out of your feet. It takes the heat out of your body, and you can go to sleep. You put 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out. 5 minutes in, 5 minutes out. 5 minutes in, 10 minutes out. 5 minutes in, 10 minutes out. You do a total like maybe 30 minutes that way. Your feet are, now they go ahead and they're unswell and it feels, but I have tingling in my feet. That tingling will go away. Folks, you got to understand. If you really want to do something, here at Corporate Credit Blueprints, we don't mess around. I treat you like a Fortune 500 and Fortune 500 mentality, and a Fortune 100, it even gets worse. There's some people that are in certain programs, I treat them that way all the way through. It's even worse. Why is it worse? Because I really don't have a lot of empathy for them inside of what they're doing. You want to be a Fortune 100? That's how you're going to play the game. And I don't care if it's just to build $100,000 for the first 6 months or the first 8 months. I'm going to hold you to the fire to do it. Why? Because guess what? If no one holds you to the fire to do it and listens to you as a Fortune 100 person, who is? People don't understand. What comes out of your mouth will betray you. What comes out of your mouth will show who you really are and what you're up to. What happens if you're a complainer? Is the complainer really going to get anywhere in life? What happens to your person that goes, woe is me? I can do that anytime. I mean, even today I had some issues come up and I can go, oh, well, I'm sorry, okay. And I said, what about this? What about that? Okay, well, this. I'm looking for everything that I can look for with my own insights. And there's someone else listening to me. They're hearing their insights. So since they can hear better than me, because I'm only looking through a particular set of lenses, then I spit out more. Then I say, no, based on this, so-and-so, so this, that, blah, blah, blah. You want to begin to understand that it makes a huge difference when someone listens to you without even judging you. See, we listen to you and not judge you. What I do, when someone starts moaning and groaning, I kind of laugh. I laugh inside. Or sometimes, I'll joke, hey, you have any cheese over there? And they go, what do you mean? You have any wine over there? Well, what? You have any crackers? No. Well, I was going to ask you want some crackers and cheese with that wine. I know it's a corny line, but you know what? Just to get them to laugh at themselves, sometimes loosen things up. So put it this way. You are the super rich. Those of you go work all day and you're working your fanny off, working 2 jobs, spend an hour learning what the code says for you, because if you started a corporation, you can do the same things they're doing. How about get a grant to get you started? I have somebody that's really good at writing grants, very intelligent to do it. We can book her to death and she'll write it. She'll work till 2, 3, or 4 o'clock in the morning, go to bed at 4 and get up at 6. And let me see. Oh, she's here tonight too. Oops. All right. Anyways, I think she's probably going to shoot me at the end of the evening. Anyways, so I want to let you know that's what that story is all about. This is the kind of focus you want to have when you're building your business or anything in life. I can tell you when you guys have more focus, definitely can tell you, especially when the heat and passion takes over. I don't care what it is. Everything else goes out the door and you're only concerned with one thing. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it. So anyways, they're going to go ahead and Wells Fargo's chopping down. And also another thing, you have other big banks have consolidated locations, including Truist, which last week confirmed it's closing 3 dozen of their branches statewide. All right. Bank of America vacated some places in other areas. And then also you have the Wells Fargo in a different area as well in a part of the country. You have, let's see. Now get a load of this. Wells Fargo had a country holding of $78 million in deposits. And is closing in favor of a location of 5 miles away. All right. So now you want to figure out, why are they closing? Well, they're closing because they're beginning to find out that, guess why? Those banks are at a particular area. They're not going to make any profit. And if they didn't, they'll take the losses and they'll go ahead and be glad they can write it off. Let's see. Even though I think this is a whole place. I'm not sure. 8.7 billion. In local deposits. That's not a bad deposit. So what I want to really let you know is why I'm reading this to you, because, like, for instance, even Truist Bank is shutting more local branches as B&BT SunTrust merge continues. Truist Bank shutters more local branches as BB&T SunTrust merge. Now they're going to merge. Why they're merging? Why not? Why it's good to merge. All right. So their new flag flying at a dozen bank branches around the world, around the Richmond. Truist Bank over the weekend hoisted its brand on the signa of all branches in the local market as a visible ripple effect. Now, here's one thing you want to begin to understand. SunTrust and BB&T are becoming together. Those 10 local branches, more than $2 billion in deposits. So it's a good thing. Also, there's the latest for closure of previous waves of trust branches. All right, in Virginia. Now the bank closed 28 branches. Remember, closed 28 branches. What are 28 branches? Would 28 branches would it fall under this particular kind of criteria? You guys think daisy chaining is freaking new. It's been around before anybody was ever born. If you go back to Columbus, you'll see how they daisy chain credit to the Maria, the Santa this, and whatever they got going on the Columbus boats, what the Queen did. The corporation is who it is, and now they have divisions and divisions and subdivisions and subdivisions. And when they close the division, if it's not making any money, they're only closing it so they can write it off because it's not making no money. So let's take those deposits and move them to another branch. They all have tax IDs. Why are you guys so stubborn at building your divisions? Just freaking get a name. You don't need a tax ID. Get a name, put it, register it with the state you're in. Just get the name. It's only going to cost you what? Maybe $35, $65. Forgive me, Georgia. Georgia charges you $160 for a division. So other than that, a lot of you right now should have just a minimum of 4 to 6 to 10 divisions. Just names. Just names. Doesn't matter where they go. But no one follows the directions. When I first tell them, get 3 divisions, all of a sudden you guys want to do this. I need a division. I need a tax ID. No, you don't. You don't need nothing. You just set up a division, $35. Okay, I got Susie Q Inc. Then you got another one, Sam Johnson Umbrella, GF Goodman Inc. Boom, another division name. ABC division, XY&R division, CRS divisions, ARS division. You don't have to have a tax. It's just a division sitting there. Cost you $35 to have it sitting there. So when you actually learn how to do 1 or 2 divisions, then you can figure out what you're going to do to all of them. But you all just want to wait. I have only 2 students. 2. Now that's 2 that are now the people that are in the bigger programs. And altogether, to the people that are doing their stuff in the bigger programs. So those are a total of that's 42 of them. They have from the millionaires in the making, billionaires in the making, in the foundation of building their corporate credit. And then you have the beginners, which I work with them now. There, they get a little leniency for a little while, but after a while, after 90 days, it changes. Only 2 out of those people. When we have our meetings, when I have my meeting with them, I say, okay, great, you ready to go ahead and take one of your cards to go ahead and move it to one of the divisions. Yep, I got 2 divisions ready to go. What are they? All right, cool. And then they'll call on the phone. I'll listen to them, what they say. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Get the division. Get the divisions. And then when they get their cards, they call and move the cards to the division. There's all these ways you can do it. But I don't have to ask them, do you have the division? They know that this division doesn't have to be set up. Doesn't have to be a setup. Because you're going to take, so the way you have 10, so, yep, I have a name to go. You ready to move your cards over? Yes, okay, great. Move them over to the division. Okay, which ones? I have 3 right now. Okay, great. Boom, boom, boom. Are you going to be next week? Some of them already have they have 9 divisions across, and they have this subdivisions down below already done. They'll tell me, have I got that all done? So I'm ready to do this and that. So I'm ready. So that's why they're able to go ahead and get more money right away than some people that take their time. You people that I train should tell me I have my divisions. My divisions are ready to go to move cards to. That's it. End of story. No tax ID. You don't need any of that nonsense right away. You've got to have your divisions and be able to know how to move cards. It's that simple. All your money lies here, just like the big corporations that I told you, like I just read to you. You can go Google this stuff and you'll see I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not pulling out of my wazoo. All right? The bank closes 28 Virginia branches. And where do you think they take the good pieces to? They take the good piece of that branch and they move the money over to the other place. Oh my God, you guys, they've been doing this in front of your face for years, and a lot of you just don't really, I don't understand. Either I don't convey it well, I'm just horrible at explaining it to you, or it's just so foreign that it's like speaking the Deutsch to you or saying parlez-vous français, and you say, huh? What does that mean? J'aime, you know, whatever you want to say that, or let's see, j'aime, bonne nuit, all right? All those things you want to go ahead and say. So all the things I want to tell you, it's just like, you got to understand. Let's see what else we got going on. Okay, the bank will be down to 48 retail branches around the Metro Richmond area compared to 71 banks when they merge. I'm just telling you, it's just crazy. All these big banks are revamping and closing some of their branches. Why? Because it's beneficial to them. But they've been, and I'm telling you, they're going to open up other ones. They're not just going to go ahead and just close them. That's what I'm saying, you guys. Your money is in your divisions. All right, so that's enough of that. So let me go ahead and get going on this deal. All right, so first of all, you remember, what you're building in your business is an ATM machine. You're building an ATM machine that's going to make a difference for you, which means that some of you are lending money out. In fact, we have this month we already started again. But last month, February, we moved, let's see, we loaned out, not me personally, but as a group, the people are the millionaires in the making, the people are in the beginning stages, some of the other areas, we've lended out over $7.2 million in money, all right? Some are 10 years due in 5. You have some years, actually, they've done, someone went, they were brave and said they wanted to do 240 months due in 10 because they lent out $300,000. They want to make sure they're going to get the payment. And so that's go on, so on. So it's just all these things that you're building in your business is an ATM machine. Remember, borrowed money is not taxable. Also, another thing, you want to have your insight, that vision of you really want to have it to where it holds you. You don't take it off. Even though the world's going to try to distract you. Believe me. Believe me. This is another thing. You got to pay attention to where you're at. Where are you going to be in June, between March and June? How much money do you have any idea? Can you even close your eyes and visualize how much corporate credit you're going to have between March and June? Can you close your eyes and see it? And then you start working for it. Between March and June should be at least, that's March, April, May, June. That's at least $100,000. Minimum. And I'm talking in credit lines, not the other nonsense stuff you get. Also, do you understand that the SS4 form builds credit? How you use it, what you do with it. This tells you exactly here what needs to be done. You must understand this form for your company name, division, or your name. I'll explain that later. Here's what you want to begin to understand, what we just went over. Daisy chaining credit cards, one card into 16 cards. So you have the corporation, that's one. You have 2, you have 3, you have 4, you have 5, you have 6, you have 7, you have 8, you have 9, you have 10, you have 11, you have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards. 16 cards. Let's say the worst case scenario, on an average, the card is $5,000 a piece. Times 16. Well, that's $80,000 just that way. What if it was $10,000? You're at $1 million already. Come on. You know, what I'm just saying is that you want to begin to understand is that the power of all this stuff that you have in relationship to what you're up to is that, you know, you have, like I said, you have, excuse me, that I said $160,000. You have $160,000 with, you know, 10 grand. If it was $100,000, it'd be 1.6 mil. So what I'm saying to you folks is the daisy chain is more, because if something happens to a division, it won't affect anybody else. And there's a way to make sure. In other words, they've been telling you they're doing it, but they don't tell you how to do it. And remember, there is no loophole. They're doing what they're told. We went over tonight again about the IRS stuff. Do you realize they borrow money again is not taxable? You must remember this. Also, one of the things I haven't really, well, like for instance, $1,000 can get you 15 grand. Invest the borrowed money. It's not taxable. Buy your lifetime income. If you have $75,000, you can make yourself 1,125, but it's how you lend it out. And how many, like it's long term, how you do it. I mean, it's telling you, it's just awesome. But you've got to be willing to realize, and people complain, oh my God, I'm using my credit line. Well, how much is it paying you, right? Well, yeah. Well, then what are you worried about? Well, man, it's not your money anyways. Who cares? If it goes belly up, guess what? Got a write-off. I mean, who knows? They can come and bomb the United States. And if they do, guess what? You're not getting the payment. I mean, come on. Anything could happen. COVID wiped out about 70% of a lot of the businesses that were small. They lost. They never would have been able to pay you back. Just remember this. The best card you want to get is an American Express card. It's the best card to get because it doesn't report the 25 to 29% rule. It doesn't affect your credit. All right, folks. That's enough for tonight. I just want to say hi, hello. Thank you very much for being here. You guys are awesome. And most of all, remember, building your business credit, you're accountable and responsible for it inside the training because no one's really going to do it for you. Which means this, you have only 4 quarters and the first quarter's already over with. You had January, February, March. Boom. Now you got April, May, and June. Boom. What are you going to have? Where's your corporation going to be? If you don't want to do anything else, say right now, because you can't afford a certain package, guess what? Call up and go ahead and see what it takes. Who knows? All I want to let you know is this. You have 4 quarters. The first quarter is wasted. What did you do already? That's 90 days gone. Look at June. There's only 3 months left in the year. 3 months. Look at it. This is what I'm saying. You cannot miss this world-changing event. There are only 4 quarters a year, and if this doesn't get to your core right now, whoa, wait a minute. It's going to be Christmas already. You best start shopping now. You got to understand, this year is done. You're just going through the process. And a lot of you can't say, a lot of you haven't, if you don't have your corporation yet formed, guess what? See it formed, get it formed, because you can get in the game and then have September, December be, let's say, $200,000. Folks, all I want to tell you, and then also another thing, we moved a lot of money around this last couple of days, and it was awesome. And I just want to say thanks to everyone that participated in that movement. You did a great job, and just most of all, thank you so much. You guys did awesome, and everybody came out in the working. And one thing we realized too is that in our next class, not here, but our private ones that we have, there's some things we're going to go over with and everything else. But anyways, I want to say thank you again. If you want to give us a call at 855-886-7355, 855-886-7355. Also, another thing, I'm going to ask you this. If you liked what you got, just press the like. If you want to subscribe, because we have stuff that comes out. But one thing I want to let you know is that we always give you stuff that you can use. We give you stuff to multiply your credit. If you only have one level of business credit on your first level of your business, call us. We'll help you structure it so you can go ahead and build it with no PGs. You'll take the no PGs first, and then after that, work on the PGs after. But I'm going to tell you, those of you that say you have $1.5 million in credit on the first line, I promise you probably have at least $800,000 in no PGs. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a great evening. Most of all, remember this. You make a difference in the world. All right. Good night.